Before we next share thoughts, we will have left 2020 behind. 2020 with all its challenges and loves, virus and joys, lockdowns, old and new, and emotions rarely experienced before. And in just 4 days, we will welcome in a new year, perhaps with less fanfare and fewer fireworks than usual, but surely with more hopes for the new year than we usually muster. But one custom we will be sure to continue will be the New Year's resolution. Now, New Year's resolutions will range from the usual commitment to lose weight, with new adherents given the COVID-19 bulge that so many have added, with greater access to the fridge and less to the gym. And then there will be new ones based on what we've learned and experienced over the past 12 months. The resolutions to make more time for friends and family when things are back on track. And to get to know our own backyard with holidays in Canada. To explore those new interests that have developed while stuck at home. Tracking down the family tree. Or writing the great Canadian novel. Resolutions are funny things. They come in so many varieties. By definition, they're promises or firm commitments to give yourself or your money or your time to do something or support or buy something. And if you know why you're making the commitment, if you've listed the pros and the cons, well, then you'll have a far better chance of sticking to it. Sometimes the commitment is merely to yourself. Losing weight, getting to bed earlier, drinking less, eating veggies, or getting to the gym. Sometimes the commitment is to someone else. Your wedding vow is probably the biggest on that score. Sometimes the commitment is to something you believe in, to give your time or your money to a charity or your church or to your old school scholarship program. It can be the very public commitment you make in an oath, when you take on citizenship in a new land, or you make your vows and are welcomed into the Templar Priory. And it can be a commitment between you and God to learn more, to care more, to do more, to make the world a better place, or you a better person. Although almost invariably, when you work on making the world a better place, you end up a better person. Probably New Year's Eve sees more commitments made than any other day of the year, and the average one will last 14 days. That's 2 weeks. Apparently, not all New Year's resolutions are the same on that score either. The ones to start something new, like a diet, tend to last longer than those to quit something, like double coffees on the way to work or giving up smoking. Now, if only those 14-day failures had hung in just a few days longer, because it's at about 20 successive days of doing something, or not doing something, that it becomes a habit, where you no longer have to decide each day to do the thing you are committed to doing. Yet, despite the failures or successes of previous years, come New Year's Day, the majority of us will be planning a whole new slew of resolutions, or at least one or two. Commitments that demonstrate our own confidence in ourselves and our future and our ability to change and shape what lies ahead. Somehow, the idea of a new year, a clean slate, inspires one to make commitments to do and be better. And this year, having given us so much more time to think and fewer things to occupy our time, we've been able to identify things that we like about ourselves and things that we'd like to change. We've discovered things that frighten us and things that inspire us, and they aren't always the same things that we would have named a year ago. I recently read this quote: "Look around you. Appreciate what you have. Nothing will be the same in a year." So there is the challenge. See what you have and appreciate it, and then make the commitment to change the things that you'd like to improve, and cherish the things that are wonderful, things that fill you with delight and with awe. So if nothing will be the same a year from now, let us have some say in the change, Let us be a catalyst to ensure the changes are for the better. Now, where to begin? How about the new interest discovered in the lockdown to pursue when freedom returns? Classes, when the many and varied classes resume. Cooking, macrame, brasses, knitting, woodworking, gardening, the piano, oil painting, and learning and doing everything you want to do face to face. There are relationships that will change. Proposals, when one can again meet and get down on one knee. Or separations, once one can part. Resolutions and dreams are not always forever. COVID has proved a testing time for many. Commitments made that have flourished. Commitments that have proven to have an expiry date. Not necessarily a failure, but necessarily at an end. Relationships have rhythms, and sometimes the crescendo is reached. The chorus echoes on forever, or the piece drifts away into silence. And sometimes what has been discovered through enforced times together or apart is that things have deepened and grown and blossomed, or that others have come to an understanding that things just are not going to work out, and it's better to leave while the good times are still fresh in one's memory, not dragging things on to a sordid end. And there's so much to look forward to when, inevitably, vaccines or herd immunity or the season of COVID comes to an end. COVID babies having their much delayed baby showers, and grannies finally able to hold them in their arms. The COVID-induced addiction to endless TV reruns will end, and what a delight it will be when stars and their film crews once again are messing up the city's streets. And hopefully, adding to the new commitments and things people are looking forward to, turning up at church some Sunday morning. I'll be on the lookout for you. Look about your own life for the good and not just the bad that has come out of 2020. For instance, being at home more has meant that we have explored the local neighborhood for food and clothes and supplies that we used to buy over lunch hour at work. We've got nodding acquaintances with some of the neighbors we never saw before. Although, will we recognize them when they no longer sport their masks? Books have been read, and drawers organized, and gardens planted. The kitchen no longer is the source of leftover pizza and beer. It's now the magic lab where experiments, otherwise known as gourmet cooking, have emerged in all their glory. The government has made our homes into our nests, or our cages. For some, safe retreats. For others, detention halls. The freedom to come and go or stay is determined by oneself, rather than the local bylaw officer, will be a delight to all. And how will all that play out when we have choices once again? For new adventures are sure to lie ahead. So many unknowns lie in the year unveiling. Almost certainly, by year's end of 2021, we will have chosen to have, or not have, the vaccine. And enough of us will have chosen to do so that the medical emergency will have abated. But that will not be the end of it. The fallouts will be felt for years. And one of the real resolutions I'm asking from each of you is to help those who suffer the after effects. The owners of businesses that have been severely affected. Shop at them, buy from them, promote them. Return to the bars and the restaurants that you patronized and help them get back on their feet. Support those who have suffered the death of a loved one without the supports the funerals and wakes and communal mourning afford. Tutor the students who have lost so much in a year without effective teaching and without the camaraderie and growing together that teens so sorely need. Be with those who have turned to alcohol and drugs and have abused their bodies as a means of enduring their pain and fears. Listen to the sufferings of others without judging them. Be there for those you love. and turn to them for the help that you need. There is no shame in admitting our need for others, only in refusing to be helped. Let 2021 be a year when we practice courtesy and good manners and kindness and swear off wokenness and the dumping on of others and the trolling that is the worst of the internet. Let this be a year when we listen to many voices, many opinions, and not hear only the voices of those with whom we agree. Let's just be nicer. Sounds simple, but what a changed world we would have if everyone just committed themselves to being nicer. Let's all try it. It might turn out that we like ourselves better when we're nicer to others. Will you join me in this? Maybe even make it one of your resolutions? Well, whatever your answer, may God bless you in all you do as we look back on and say goodbye to 2020 and welcome 2021 with all our dreams for its potential. Happy New Year. So may it be. Amen. I hope Christmas was a special day for you and God and your family, and I hope that 2021 will see many dreams come true. Be kind to each other. Make a commitment to yourself, your community, and your God. Then work real hard at keeping those resolutions. Goodbye 2020. Welcome 2021. And God bless each and every one of us.